level difficulty, it would be mostly direct questions. So you have to read the passage really quickly, do it in 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, go to the question, and then from the stem of the question, go back. You'll remember it's in the first or second paragraph. Look at the answer, eliminate options, and answer your questions. You will get about 85 to 90% accuracy. In no negative marking, so no question should be left unanswered. All right, good afternoon, Amrit. Got it? Analogies, know it or you don't. So if you, the questions, if you can answer them, if you've got the verbal ability section, you can just quickly answer them, right? Either you know it or you don't. Even if you don't, just mark and go ahead. That way you spend more questions on RC. And again, the last 5 minutes, just keep attempting all the questions that are left. All right. Generally, analogies are of moderate level difficulty. They test your vocabulary and your logic, right? So that is why for NMAT, a little bit of vocab preparation is essential. It is good if you could do a little bit of vocab preparation. This because the fill in the blanks are also based on vocabulary or grammar based, that is prepositions mostly, right? And then of course you have proper grammar questions based on either a sentence broken up into 4-5 parts and you have to find out which part has an error, or you have sentence correction where a sentence is given and 5 options are given and you have to choose which is the best way, which option expresses the sentence properly, right? These are the questions that you are looking at. All right, so first one, let me get my pen tab. Yeah, what is tested in analogies? You are given a stem word. You wait, let me just get my pen color right. What's happening? Why am I not able to use my pen tablet? Hold on. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right. What happened to the questions? Why did the answer come first? Okay, the first one is gone. What is the relationship? Where did the first question go? First question is missing. All right, it doesn't matter. What is the relationship between butterfly and winged? What is the relationship between butterfly and winged? Butterfly and winged. What is the relationship? Spell it out. You normally use the term winged for a butterfly. So winged is the adjective used to describe a butterfly, right? So which one is an adjective describing the subject? Spherical is to circle, is not an adjective. Arched gateways, arched doorways, we say. Doorways which have arches on them or gates which have arches on them are called arched gateways. That's why B is the answer. Now, E, if you are cautioned against danger, but caution is not the adjective for danger. The adjective used for danger is grave danger or some other danger, but you don't say caution danger. So the key to doing well, I'm not able to use my pen tablet today for some reason. It's just you being, let me just see if I can do it one more time. Nah, okay, all right. Thank God we don't have RCs, otherwise I can't do with my pen tablet. So the key is to look at the stem word, that is the stem pair, butterfly is to wing, and spell out the relationship. Can you do it for the next one? Clandestine is to surreptitious. What is the relationship? And based on the relationship, you find out which of the answer options have the same relationship. Clandestine is to surreptitious. What is the relationship? Give me the question number and the answer. First, Disha, tell me what is the relationship. Clandestine is to surreptitious. Are they synonymous, antonymous, or are they linked in degrees, or is one an adjective for the other, is one something else, is one a noun and a verb relationship? What is it? Okay, so there are many ways in which they can ask you analogies, right? Synonyms, antonyms, degree, professional and the tool he uses, professional and the place where he works. It can be anything. Now, if they want to do it in vocabulary, test your vocabulary, then it would be synonym, antonym, or parts of speech. So many people said it's synonym. Yes, it is a synonymous relationship. Clandestine means surreptitious. Now you look at the options and tell me which one of the options has a synonymous relationship. Which of the options has a synonymous relationship? Mohit thinks it's A. What about the others? Amrit also says it's A. What about the others? Quickly. Only 2 answers in so far. Karthik also thinks it's A. All right. A seems to be winning. All right. Covert means hidden. Correct. What does overt mean? Open. Oh, why? Oh, God. This is not working. Wait, let me just see if I can get the... Okay. Overt again means open, but overture means a gesture, a conciliatory gesture towards you. Fortuitous means what? What does option C mean? Fortuitous. Fortuitous means something that happens by chance, and it generally means lucky. So predetermined is the exact opposite of that. Furtive also means clandestine or surreptitious. Furtive is a correct word. Okay, furtive also means, but coercive doesn't go with it. Therefore, A is the answer. Excellent. All right. Window is to glass as door is to entrance, cake is to batter, glass is to fragile, fur is to coat, light is to glass. Window is to glass. Somebody said this is an actual NMAT question. I get feedback after the exams, and one student had given this as the analogy he or she had got. So window is made of glass, just as cake is made up of batter. All right. Okay. Why not D? Why not D? D for Delhi. B is the correct answer. I agree. What's wrong with D for Delhi? A coat could be made of fur, right? The order is reversed. Exactly. Good. Good. All right. Now, so there are lots of analogy questions. If we have time, we will go back on it. Today I have to finish the session in 40 minutes. All right. I can't afford to go beyond 40 minutes. I have another session at 4. All right. Coat and fur is reversed. Naman. That's why. Okay. And not all coats are made of fur. Right. Not all windows are made of glass. Come to think of it. All right. Now, in each of the blanks, a preposition fits in. Find out which is the right preposition and find out the right order. Okay. I'm feeling totally handicapped by not being able to use my pen tablet. Okay. Okay, 4, many saying B. B is D, C, E. Is it? He was hit by a car. I prefer to write with a pencil. He shot him. He hit him with something. And let's plan the course over lunch. All right, good. DCE it is. It is option B. Okay, very good. Next one. So whenever you have prepositions, answer instinctively. All right, don't think too much. The moment you think too much, you'll make a mistake. They were sitting dash each other, dash you and me. I think it's a bad idea. Do Indians play any other sport? Dash cricket. Beside, between, and among. Mohit, check again. Karthik, Disha, say it's C. All right. What's the answer? C it is. Beside, next to, yeah, I know. Beside is next to, between you and me, and besides means in addition to, other than. Okay. So the correct answer is C. All right. Next one. Fill in the blanks, vocabulary base. So remember, of all the prepositions, let me quickly do some of the. I'm not able to use my pen tab. It's very frustrating not being. Wait, okay. All right. Made of, made from, made up of. What's the difference? Made of, made from, made up of. This bangle is made of or made from gold, or made up of gold. What should I say? Made of, from, or made up of. What should I say? The table I'm using is made of wood, made from wood, or made up of wood. What should I say? Disha thinks it's of, Karthik thinks it's from. Anyone else? Quickly. When it is just the substance that you're talking about, which remains the same, then you call it of. Made of wood, made of gold, made of whatever. If it is the original source, it goes through a process, then we use the word made from. Okay, that's the difference in prepositions. Suggest, okay, this is the most common mistake people make. I will suggest you a book. I will suggest you one thing. Okay, suggest takes an object but not you. I will suggest a book to you. Alright, you should not say suggest you. Clear? Cope. Cope is another word. Ma'am, can you please speak slower? We can, or please can you dictate slower? We cannot cope with your speed, cope up with your speed, or cope up to your speed. What should you say? Some of the most common questions have been asked quite often. Cope, cope up to, cope up with. What should I say? And then after that, we will go back. One more word and then we'll go back to fill in the blanks. Disha, we'll go back to question 6. Quickly. Suppose I'm speaking too fast. Disha says cope, Aditya says cope up. Anyone else? Cope up, Amrit also. Cope up is Indian English. Wrong. It is cope with. No up. Okay, no ups. Cope with. No cope ups. Cope up nahi, keep up hai. We get confused between keep up and cope up and then we say, okay, no up. Dispose, get rid of something. So is it dispose OF, dispose OFF, or no word? I want to dispose my old car, dispose OF my old car, dispose OFF my old car. What should I say? Disha says OFF, Amrit says OF. Between, 5 of you will give 3 different answers. Okay. Majority does not win. Okay. Majority says OFF. It is not OFF. It's only one F. Amrit is correct. All of you except Amrit. Everyone else is wrong. Dispose takes only one F. OF. Don't trust me. Go back to the dictionary and please check it. Okay. And in the next class, you can catch me if I'm wrong. Alright, okay, I've done the main ones, remember these. Alright, 6, what's the word I want? Abjected, objurgated, abdicated, adjured, obfuscated. What did he do to his kinship twice? He's the king, he dashed his kinship twice. Once in favor of his father and once in favor of his son. Okay. Okay. I've got one answer, so no, Kamal, I was hoping you wouldn't trust me and look up the dictionary or a grammar book. So instead of one word, you learn 4 or 5. All right, I have seen most answers for A and 1 for C. Okay, what is Indians? Some parts of India, people live in abject poverty. I am abject misery, abject disappointment. You feel abject means absolutely the lowest level, having no hope. Abjected, you don't say, there is no such word. Objurgated means to criticize, to renounce. He gave up his kinship, he renounced, he gave it up. Once he gave it to his father, once he gave it up to his son. So the word we want is abdicated. All right. To adjure means when a judge adjures you. Adjure is an official request, which means a command. Obfuscate means to deliberately confuse somebody. Got it? All right. Next one. Abdicated is the word we want. Okay. Next one. Martha, now whenever in NMAT you get mostly 2-sentence fill in the blanks. When you get 2-sentence fill in the blanks, be slightly careful. Read the entire sentence as if you are speaking it. That's the key to doing well in fill in the blank. Then automatically you know your brain will form some shadow words. I want a positive word here, I want a negative word here. You get the tone. Then you look at the options. Now when you're looking at the options, again be careful. Sometimes all the words in the first words of all the options fit well. Then you have to read both the options and decide. Right? Sometimes if the first option word in the option pair is wrong, then you can easily eliminate it. So you have to wait. If it works, you have to wait till the second option, fit the second option in the blank and see if it works. If that works, then you'll start looking at others. Something that makes the sentence meaningful. All right. Read the entire sentence, Nihar, and see if it makes sense. The option that you have chosen, see if it makes sense. Okay, persecution means troubling, torturing somebody. Here what are we saying? Epiphany to elegant abstraction to mystical synthesis. These are all the things that she tried. So what is that? What is the meaning then? That her obsession with craft pushed her explorations from A to point X, point Y. Okay, so the correct answer is A. All right. Fascination works well. Enamored doesn't work. Fixation is used more like a, obsession and fixation can also work. So the first options work. Persecution and perdition don't. Perdition means your ruin, right? So they don't work. Journey may work, but not enamored. So A is the only one that works. All right, good. Next one. Next is, so in fill in the blanks, think of all the words that are troublesome, and we may get a session in one more where I'll do just fill in the blanks, but vocabulary as such, how much can I do? Let's now look at the common areas of grammar where they ask questions. Now, if you're looking at grammar, most of the time, if you look at NMAT questions, from whatever feedback I have got from all the slots of students, there are two areas on which they really seem to concentrate. One is preposition, which is anyway done in fill in the blanks. The other thing that they look at is redundant expressions, idiomatic expressions, subject verb agreement, and tenses. These are the four. Out of them, idiomatic expressions, this word is not used, we use this instead, kind of. Those are the ones where they ask more questions. All right, okay. What is the answer? Although the team worked hard and played well, yet should it be had worked hard, or yet it could not qualify for the World Cup, or in the World Cup, or what is it? Many of you said B, because B yet is redundant. When you use although and though, you don't use yet. Now if although had been underlined, then we have a problem. Although and yet both are underlined, then we have a problem, because then you can remove one of them, right? So one of them only has been underlined. All right, excellent. Next question. The majestic Himalayas are at once forbiddingly harsh, and the beauty of them is mesmerizing. At also is okay. At has also been underlined, and R is also underlined. I forgot to underline those. The majestic Himalayas, should I say are, or is that correct? At once, should I say, or something else? Forbiddingly, is that correct? Beauty, see, options are at, forbiddingly, beauty of them, and mesmerizing. Which one is the error? And no error is not an option. Looks okay to me, but you don't have an error. That is a doubt I also had, Karthik, but there is a bigger error than that. That is not an error as such. Forbiddingly harsh. Okay, he looked forbiddingly stern, so harsh that forbiddingly has been used as an adverb to talk how harsh he is. It's a question of parallelism. Their beauty is mesmerizing. Okay, so now the question is, should I call majestic Himalayas their beauty or its beauty? Correct. At once means both, you get both the feelings at the same time, Ishan. So there is no confusion. At once means at the same time. You look at them, you have two feelings. One, that they are very cold and harsh climatically, they're not really good. At the same time, you look at the beauty and you wonder. Okay, which is why mountaineers keep going back to it. Their beauty is mesmerizing. All right. Okay, good. So the questions on parallelism also. What is parallelism? That the entire sentence has to be balanced. The way you start a sentence and the way you end it has to be the same. Also, if you're mentioning, yes, and you're talking of the Himalayas. So the Himalayas are the highest range of mountains. True. All right. Okay. Next. Parallelism is another area. Idiomatic expressions usage and parallelism. These are the two you should really be, if you want to prepare, you say, okay, I have to sit and prepare grammar before NMAT, then these are the two you should solve more questions on these. All right. This store sells items sourced from not only Europe but also from Asia and the Americas. North, South and Latin American countries. Are they called the Americas or not? The should not be there. America nahi hai na, the Americas, as in North America, South America, all the Americas. Rakshana, we are not talking of America or the United States of America. We are talking of Europe and the Americas, North, South, together, the Americas. Got it? Okay, all right. So what is the mistake, or is it no error E? So again, another question of parallelism. Whenever you get a question which has either or, not only but also, not but, right? Make sure that not only can be followed by only but. Many sentences you find, but generally not only has to go with but also. Amrit, one small error. The position of the not only and but also is also important, and what is used before it. So here, this store sells source items sourced from, okay, and so this from is common to everything that comes before not only and before but also. So this from is not necessary, it is redundant. My pen is not working. This store sells items sourced from not only Europe but also Asia and the Americas. Or you can say not only from Europe but also from Asia and the Americas, Amrit. But then that becomes a little too wordy. So here, since from has not been underlined, so sourced from not only X but also Y. Got it? She lost not only X but also Y. Make the verb sit outside the not only but also expression and see whether you are using the preposition outside or inside. If it's used outside, it should not be repeated. No. Kaushal, not only from X but also Y. Not only from X but also Y. From but also from Y. Not only from X, not only from X but also Y. Got it? Here the from has been used outside the not only but also expression, so it should not be repeated. If it had been given not only from Europe, then you can say but also from Asia and the Americas, and that is also redundant. So in if you get it in sentence correction, you get both the expressions, then choose the former one, the one which is less wordy. All right, next one. Each of the students have a different version to tell about the incident. See, this is very frustrating. I'm not able to use my pen. Why is it A, Aditya? Hash should come. Hash should come where? Okay. So look at the options and give the correction. No. E, no error. Okay, Kaushal, you think A is a mistake because it should be student. Each student, but each of the students. Each student. Each, after each, it should be singular, correct. But it should be each student. Each of the, if I say, I have to use a plural. Each of the students, but I still should use a singular. Understood? Each student has a different version to tell about the incident, correct. Each of the students has a different version to tell about the incident. Got it? So the answer is B. Each student, each of the students. That part has to be. So this doubt here, that I knew most of you would mark A. You'd say each of the student is wrong. One of my friends. You have many friends, one of them. Right? So that way we are saying each of the students, but you say has. Got it? So answer is B. Alright. Okay. And these are all supposed to be actual NMAT questions. I don't know how actual it all. You take the test, you come back and you try to remember what were the grammar questions I got. And some students give me, tell me. So after you take NMAT, if you tell me, ma'am, these were the questions we got, then for the next session it will be easier. He has not returned back the book he had borrowed a year ago. Question 12, B. What's wrong with B? What is B? Why is B a mistake? It should be just return. Return back is wrong. Continue again is wrong. Revert back is wrong. Alright, so he has not returned the book he had borrowed a year ago. Now some students say he has not returned the book which he had borrowed. Yes, a year ago he had borrowed the book. That was in the past. Even now the book is with him. So has not returned is correct. Clear? All right. So with that, what did we do? What are you going to concentrate on? Analogies. Vocabulary, please look at commonly confused words. All right, beside, besides, between, among, continuous, continual, those kind of words. Prepositions for sure. Work out as many questions on prepositions. Wherever there is a test, look at the BYJU'S exam prep website. They have a hot topic to solve all the preposition questions you can. It's just like maths. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And then idiomatic expressions like this, like redundancy and usage questions. Okay, so those, even your grammar questions are based on questions like that. All right. Oh yes, 20 marks more